Meanwhile, 24 years ago, FDNY firefighter Steven Siller had just finished his shift when he learned American Airlines Flight 11 hit the North Tower. He ran through the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel with 60 pounds of gear to get to the World Trade Center, ultimately giving his life for others. His memory lives on through the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Tunnel to Towers CEO, great friend of the show, Steven Siller's older brother, Frank Siller, joins us now. Frank, I imagine for you being down there is a nonstop memory of what your brother did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm right at the mouth of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel right now. You know, when we found out as a family what he did 24 years ago, that he found a way to get in there because the tunnel was closed. He put his gear on his back and ran through that tunnel and, you know, went up West Street. And I believe he went into the South Tower because that's where other Squad 1 members were recovered. And you'd want to be there fighting the fire and fighting this battle with the people you trained with. And while saving others, gave up his life, we knew that we had to do something to honor that great sacrifice. And we started a foundation, a very simple, you know, we had no grand plans. We just wanted to never forget, you know, what he did, because he was a father of 5. His kids were 9, 5, 4, 2.5, and 9 months old when he perished that day. And it was a big loss for us as a family. He was our baby brother, youngest of 7 kids, and he was a lot younger than all of us. And it was crushing, but we were proud of what we did, and we started the foundation.
You did, and this year alone, 21 mortgage-free homes to fallen first responder families in honor of 9/11. So you guys have evolved according to the needs of the American people, whether it's the after effects of the 9/11 attacks, the families directly affected by the 9/11 attacks, and now first responders. That was, what about the decision to continue to grow as the needs grew in America?
Well, that was dictated to us. I mean, we are very spiritual people. Our faith guides us at the foundation, and God keeps on telling us to do certain things. And when we realize that paying off mortgages for these families that pay the ultimate sacrifice, what could be better than that to make sure that families could stay in their homes, especially of our first responders and firefighters. So today, 21 homes. Why? Why today? I'll tell you why. Because we want to make sure that goodness always triumphs over evil. It does every time, Brian. It does every time. And we fight this war against these evil people by doing good. And honor not just of Steven's name, because there was 2,977 souls that died that day, 343 firefighters, 37 Port Authority police officers, 23 NYPD, 3 court officers, and so on and so forth. And we're never going to forget that sacrifice. And that's why we make sure today, and 6 of them died of 9/11 illnesses that still had young families. So it is our duty to do this as Americans, and we're proud to do it through the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
So often you pick up the phone and you talk to the families, and it's the hardest thing ever right after they lose a loved one. And Anthony Casino is an example of that. He gets a mortgage, his family gets a mortgage for your home. New York City Department took part in 9/11 rescue and recovery efforts on Ground Zero. Yeah. And he passed away September 7th, 2024. What could you tell me about the Casino family?
Well, look, they're one of many families that were down on the pile, digging, looking for my brother, looking for their brother firefighters, and just civilians in general. And they were down there every single day. They were told the air was clean and it would be okay. But you know, it's just the sacrifice that keeps on being made by these men and women that give it all is incredible. And so, you know, he's one of many that paid the ultimate sacrifice by protecting us. You know, we're blessed in America. We have heroes. We have heroes, and as Americans, we better make a promise. I know Tunnel to Towers, we made a promise. We're going to take care of every single one of them forever. Not just 24 years, not 25 years, not for 50 years, but forever, because there's always going to be these great heroes that run towards the danger. They ran towards these buildings 24 years ago, and afterwards they were digging there, looking for their loved ones, and the Tunnel to Towers is going to be there for them forever.
So Frank does not solicit money on 9/11 for obvious reasons, but we can. You heard about how great this cause is. You've seen the impact they already made. Make this the year, make this the time. You go to T2T.org and be part of the Siller mission, the Tunnel to Towers mission. Frank, thanks so much.